Welcome back, everyone. Today is a very exciting day because I get to share with you one of my #1 requested robot mowers, and this is actually the second generation. This is the Lymow One Plus, the Plus being the second generation. And when you look at this robot mower, the first thing you think is rugged. It is rugged in every way possible. Anyway, we're gonna go over this mower today. I'm gonna show you how to set it up, how it works, and of course, we're gonna do some testing. You're gonna love it. Here we go. So Lymow sells the One Plus in 2 different models. The first model is the 5 amp hour, and that's good for 1.1 acres. The second model they sell is a 10 amp hour, and that runs up to 1.7 acres. So there's a lot of features of this Lymow One Plus. We're gonna go over all of them, but when you look at this, the first thing you notice is this floating deck that's on the front of the robot. Now, they spent a lot of time improving this floating deck on the new version. That's the One Plus that we're reviewing here today. I'm gonna go over them with you really quickly. First of all, they've changed some of the charging positioning on the deck. Very cool. Underneath the deck, which I can raise up right here, so they've done a lot of improvement underneath the hood here on the floating deck. You can see, first of all, they have 2 blades. This cuts 16 inches wide. Now, they've actually improved the quality of these blades to high premium steel, which is nice. Also, these blades, they've increased the speed. These now spin at 6,000 RPM, which increases the airflow under the deck. Now, the way that works is basically, you can see, it spins this way, this one spins this way, and it can eject over here out of this little port. Now, what's nice about that is it gives you a really nice quality mulching cut because it draws the grass up. That suction that it creates at 6,000 RPM draws that grass up, it cuts it clean, nice and level, and cuts those grass clippings into really fine pieces. So the other feature of this mower that definitely stands out and grabs people's attention is the tracked wheels here. Now, what's great about this is it can handle any sort of terrain. I really love these. Now, what's surprising is even with those tracks on it, this thing moves fast, up to 3.3 feet per second. Trust me, this thing's like a little rocket ship going across your yard. So if someone asks me what kind of robot mower should they buy, I definitely always suggest they consider an all-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive model, like this guy right here. This guy is the ultimate. And the reason being is some people have some like uneven terrain in their yard, and they don't want to come home to find their robot caught up in like ruts, rocks, roots, whatever you might have in your yard. This thing's not going to have any problem with that kind of stuff. Also, this thing can handle slopes. So if you got some hills, no problem, up to 45 degrees. Also, if there's any like logs or rocks it's got to go over, this thing can climb over something up to 2.8 inches. So one of the most unique features of this robot mower, you can't see from the outside, and that's because the chassis of this robot is actually built out of automotive grade aluminum. Now, that makes this robot super strong. We're talking about longevity. This thing's gonna last a long time, and it's just rugged. So making sure your robot can navigate really well and always know where it is in your yard is super important. Lymow has addressed that because they've included the latest technology in this robot mower. First of all, they use RTK, which is basically a satellite positioning system. Secondly, they use AI cameras, these guys right up here. That helps it map and know where your yard is. And lastly, they use ultrasonic sensors. Now, all that technology together helps this robot basically navigate to centimeter accuracy, meaning within like half an inch, it knows where it is in your yard. So let me show you some of those sensors. First of all, here's your cameras up front. Over here, you've got an ultrasonic, another ultrasonic, another one in these 4 right back here, another one right here. And basically all that helps this mower know exactly where it is in your yard. So some other features of this robot mower that I really like is it's got a serviceable, removable battery right back here. I really like that. They've increased and improved the weatherproofness of this robot mower to IPX6, and you can adjust the cutting height from 1.2 inches to 4 inches. So let me go through what you get when you buy a Lymow mower. First of all, there's 2 mowers, the 5 or the 10 amp. You get a base station charging station right here. In the back is 2 connectors, one for RTK, one for power. Now let's go over to the accessories and wires. Here it is right here. It's really well organized. And one of the coolest things about this is, just like the lawnmower, everything is super quality, really rugged looking stuff. Here's the power supply. Check this out. This is the power supply extension. This is like a 12 gauge wire. That's unbelievable. They include 2 RTK cable extensions. Love that. Over here, you've got anchors for the base station. You've got anchors for the wall mount RTK antenna. Here's the RTK antenna that goes in your yard, and you can see they've got the connector right here for an external antenna right there. Check this out. They actually even include a auxiliary power supply for your RTK if it's too far from your base station. Love that. Here's the poles for the RTK freestanding antenna, and there's the pin in the ground. Check this out. Love this. This is actually a wall mount for your RTK antenna, so it can be high off the ground and out of the way. So now that we've got all those details out of the way, let's get to the fun stuff and get this thing set up. So once you've got your map made, you can go to the device settings right here, and you can adjust some of the settings of the map. Here's the global settings. That means they'll apply to every zone. You can see we've got mowing speed, we've got cutting height, blade speed, and you've got some advanced settings, which I really like. So you can change the path spacing. That means how many, like as it moves through your yard, how wide those cuts are. The stripe angle you can change, the mowing order, inside, outside, like perimeter, inside. Lots of options here. I love that I've seen this improve since the first version when I tested it. Made it to the most important part of the video. This is the wrap up. So one of the few issues I have with this robot is the side port here. When I first got it was a little stiff, but after a little bit of use, it's opened up and it's pushing all those grass clippings out. So that's really not a huge problem. Now, as far as the cut quality on this mower, it is superb. It leaves beautiful stripes in your yard and it looks so good. Now, of course, the ruggedness of this machine is obvious, and you can see that it really is going to make a difference in longevity of this mower. This thing's going to last forever. Also, it's got a LiFePO battery, which will last through a ton of charges. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is when I first tested the Lymow One, the app felt like a little incomplete. But the good news is they've really finished that up, polished it up a lot, and it works really great. It's got a lot of features, everything you need, nothing you don't. All right, guys, so if you want to learn more about this Lymow One Plus, make sure you go to the link right down below. Also, if you have any questions about any robot mowers, including this one right here, make sure you leave a comment down below. I do my best to try to respond to them. Also, you don't have to go anywhere because I got you covered. If you want to learn more about robot mowers, I got a great video for you right there. Go check it out.